What's up, everybody? Eternal God Possibilities here, back again to give you the next part of what if the Soul Society slash Hueco Mundo was in SAO. Last time I left off, Kirito was logging into ALO to meet up with his friends in a certain place there to warn them about VR games. Warn them about just to keep watch if anything strange happens, like an unknown monster. Because that's all the information he got. Pretty much telling all the information he got from uh, what's his name, who helped told him about the death gun case. So yeah, and before he got to them, a hollow appeared before Kirito, and that's pretty much it. Let's get to the video starting now. As Kirito carefully watches this strange entity that's in front of him, that he accidentally, encountered, which the system says unknown, which just says unknown. But to us, to us, we know it's a hollow, not just any hollow. Subject White, one of Eisen's experiments. Which, before the fight starts, we see two people in the distance, in the sky, looking like they're standing in the sky, wearing cloaks, observing this. So one of them says, interesting. Then we cut back to Kirito and Subject White, which Kirito pulls out unsheathes both his swords on his back, which Subject White immediately disappears out of his sight and reappears in front of Kirito, doing a vertical a slash with one of his blade arms to his chest. Tries to slash at him with one of his blade arms. With Kirito barely, and I mean barely, moves out of the way, but just leaves a small cut on his chest. Which Kirito is just internally freaking out, thinking that was close. If I didn't dodge in time, I would have been. But before he can finish that thought, it comes in again with another slash with its left blade arm, which Kirito blocks with his somewhat deflects it with one of his swords, which then comes in with another attack with the other blade arm. Kirito blocks it, but then they have a full-on they both trade blocking and trading sword strikes, blade strikes, with Kirito on defensive and the Subject White on the offensive. But then, with Kirito having several scratch marks on him, Subject White backs off as this, but right as this happened, the two people in cloaks watching this entire thing is intrigued on how could a human, even though this is a virtual world and his avatar is somewhat strong based off this virtual world, this VR system, is holding quite well to Subject White. Lord Eisen, as the other cloak figure says, yes, yes indeed, as he's trying to, as he thinks something's familiar. But as we return back to Kirito and Subject White's fight, Subject White roars as a red orb appears between his two horns. As the orb continues to get bigger and to grow bigger, Kirito freaking out as he tries to repair for it. But then as White releases the SAO, as we know, but to Kirito, it's just some sort of weird attack. On instinct, Kirito jumps to the right, dodging, and I mean barely dodging, the SAO, which continues to go off into the distance as it impacts a mountain in ALO, completely destroying it with a huge explosion as Kirito turns his head around and sees it and thinks, what the hell was that? And as he thinks this, he realizes something strange is happening. The ammo spear isn't activating, automatically logging him out. Because with the ammo spear, if any kind of heart rate or pretty much any time the user's heart rate increases to a certain point, they automatically are logged out of pretty much shut out, sent. You get what I mean. Kirito's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Why isn't logging me out automatically? But then, right before he can finish that thought, the Subject White comes in. It comes in with another attack, which Kirito backs up a couple steps, dodging it again, and almost immediately he switches out one of his swords for Excalibur, which wasn't too long till he got it from. Well, till him and his wasn't too long since him and his friends got it from obtained from that arc. I forgot the exact name of it, but yeah, y'all know what I mean if you watch SAO. Kirito pulls out Excalibur and charges that Subject White. As then both Subject White and Kirito go on trade blow for blow, as they actually gets a hit on Subject White. As they continue to actually slash at each other, just scratch, nick here and there. Kirito has more nicks than Subject White. Though Kirito knows strange that the nicks on him don't appear as the same as his. You know how from the VRs they're have that digital cut there, and he's actually feeling the pain more than usual. Like the pain receptors are turn up to what they would be in real life, exactly as they would be in real life. But then Subject White tries to back up again as he tries to charge up another SAO. With seeing how the first one activated as it was forming in between those horns, Kirito dashes towards him at top speed and slashes one of the horns, realizing that could be a weakness. If because he thinks those two horns were creating that attack. He slashed, cutting off one of the horns with the already huge SAO, almost completely formed, blows up, sending Kirito flying with a little bit of damage, but with Subject White's mask and parts of its body cracked. Completely, pretty much his mask is cracked and his entire body is completely damaged. With Kirito standing right back up after being sent flying from the huge explosion, he sees that he did major damage to Subject White. But before Subject White But after that, Subject White screams and an instant appears in front of Kirito and bites him right on his left shoulder, which Kirito stabs him with Excalibur, stabs Subject White, which then Subject White self-destructs. Kirito thinking he defeated him with the huge gaping mark, a huge bite mark on his shoulder. And then then after defeating it, the message thing where it says warning before it automatically logs them out starts to work again. After that, both of the two people in cloaks are wondering, are in a little bit in shock that that human was able to defeat Subject White with one asking, which then the one we know as Aizen says it wasn't a total failure. That boy and his skills will be interesting. I wonder what kind of hollow will he become. No, if you read the manga, Subject White has there was something special about it. It was created from from multiple Soul Reaper souls, actually. And the thing on it, it was designed to infect whoever killed it or whatever deemed to infect another person's soul, essentially. Subject White's not completely gone. He's inside of Kirito, and as of right now, he's slowly trying to infect and turn him and become Kirito, essentially. Before he ever became Ichigo's inner hollow, he was Ichigo's mother's, which he infected Ichigo's mother before. Which Ichigo's mother was a Quincy, if you read a manga or something, or whatever. But yeah, Kirito wakes up in his room with the atmosphere. He takes it off and starts breathing heavily and starts sweating profusely, trying to figure out what the hell was that thing. But then he pulls himself together and then turns to his right and sees a strange girl in a black kimono with a strange device in her hand, saying, "That's strange. There should. Why is it saying there's a hollow in this room?" But then she turns. But as she's saying that, she's performing a konso uh, with hitting her the bottom of her hilt of her sword on the head of another guy, of another, which he thinks is some middle-aged man that's in its room. And that's gonna be it for the video, guys. So yeah, hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And before I go, I'm going to announce that I'm gonna upload 2 videos for my Christmas special and maybe a New Year's special. So yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.